welcome you to San Pedro Sula and the conclusion of the group stage in the Concacaf Under-20 Championship. This is Estadio Olimpico Metropolitano, and from Honduras, it's Mexico taking on Haiti. Welcome, everybody. The lights are on at this magnificent 25-year-old venue in Honduras. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. There is a minute chance of rain today, but luckily it appears most of the rainy weather has already passed in earlier days of the group stage. Here's a look at Group F right now. Haiti on 6 points, or rather on 7, could knock off Mexico. They do need a win to do that. As far-fetched as that may appear at the outset, Mexico on 6 points coming into the night. Draw or win, they move on as the group champion. Let's describe what's really at stake here. There are a couple of ways this can go. If Haiti ultimately falls by greater than 5 goals, they would drop down to the third position. That's currently held by Trinidad and Tobago. 3F would face Costa Rica on Saturday in the corner of the bracket that features the United States in a potential quarterfinal. If they simply draw, they remain in 2F. If they beat Mexico, Mexico drops to 2F. That would face Jamaica on Sunday here at the Olympic Stadium. That's going to be against the 1G side of the bracket. El Salvador in the quarterfinal, more likely than not. Meanwhile, if you win the group, you will face Puerto Rico in the round of 16. They are a preliminary qualifier on Sunday right here at the Olympic Stadium. That corner of the bracket highlighted in the quarterfinal round by Canada. Quite simply, if you're Mexico, 13-time champion of the tournament, you expect to win this game, to outright blow out your group, and that's precisely what they've done to this point. They have shown very little struggle in their opener against Suriname, which they won 8-0, and their second match against Trinidad and Tobago, which they won by 5. Meanwhile, for Haiti, a 4-4 draw, a real thriller against Trinidad and Tobago. They took care of business against Suriname by 3, and now just a draw would be enough to assure themselves the second place in the group. You'll hear the Concacaf Under-20 anthem, followed by the anthems of Mexico and Haiti. Enjoy the pageantry here of international competition, the Concacaf Under-20 Championship from San Pedro Sula.
Damas y caballeros, por favor, de pie. A continuación, los signos nacionales de México y Haití.
There's intrigue to this match, whether it's 0-0 or even if Mexico opens up a lead. Whether you're a fan of Trinidad and Tobago, a bystander, Mexico, or Haiti, enjoy this final group stage match as we conclude this round and move to the round of 16 in 2 days' time. Mike Watts welcoming you to the Olympic Stadium in San Pedro Sula, a venue that both these countries have played massive games in since it opened just over 2 decades ago. Here's the lineup that Luis Perez has assembled for this game. Only 3 returning starters from their game against Trinidad and Tobago. Alcantar in the back, and Breeze captains the side. Christian Torres starts for a second time in the tournament. Jesus Hernandez, the only goal scorer of the 8 included who did not feature from the start last time around. Violante, Campos, Gomez, Freifeld, Lopez, Zamora, and Ulogio into the lineup as well. And Breeze and Cicerone meeting with the officials. Guatemalan referee Walter Lopez will oversee the match. Meanwhile, in the VAR room with a peek over the shoulder, that's Chris Penso and Benjamin Whitty. The referee assessor hails from the U.S., Javier Santos. And a look at the lineup for Haiti, attempting to secure second place in the group with any positive result or negative result fewer than 5 goals. Only one change. Belizaire enters for Scott. Otherwise, this is the group we've become accustomed to. Lézard and Destin have both scored in this tournament. Belizaire as well. The co-Golden Boot leader right now is Stevenson Jadi. He has scored 4 goals. Nathaniel James of Trinidad and Tobago has also bagged 4.
Cuarto oficial, Iván Bartos de El Salvador. Comisionado del partido de Concacaf esta noche, Valerio Rodríguez.
Haiti. 3 weeks ago, they had no plans to be here. Now they've qualified for the last 16. Mexico knew they'd be here. They expected to get through the group. They expect to go back to the Olympics and the Under-20 World Cup. Everything still lies ahead for both these countries. But first, we bid adieu to the group stage with just a little bit of intrigue. We'll see how much of a role Haiti will play here tonight. Walter Lopez will do the honors. And here we go at the Olympic Stadium in San Pedro Sula. Campos. First ball's away, taken out of the air. It's not going to test Agustin at all. Appeals from Violante that should have been a corner. Those are unheard. Well, for Haiti, Brian Destin scored in the 90th minute of their opener against Trinidad and Tobago after a 33-minute lightning delay in the 80th minute. The equalizer that ultimately salvaged a point and ended up being hugely impactful come this point in the tournament. Pushed away by Cicerone. Haiti claimed less than a month ago their focus would be on Nations League, on the W Championship, and that they were obliged to decline participation for reasons beyond their control. And upon their eventual inclusion in the field, had to put an entire roster of 20 players together, hired a coach 3 days before the tournament began, Angelo Jean-Baptiste. But at this stage, to be very pleased with how they've gone about things. Campos. Freifeld. Alcantar. Waved by Ciceron. There's contact into San Milan. He's maintained. And thrust away from Destin and rolled back by Pierre. Udensky, Pierre. Stays with Haiti here. There were 400 footballers who arrived here in Honduras. 80 for the sides who arrived through the preliminary stage. San Milan flings out. And then your 16 teams in the group stage. Rolled up by Torres. St. Kitts and Nevis out in Group B. Suriname here in Group F. Aruba in Group G. And Antigua and Barbuda in Group H. All ousted. And none accumulated a single point in tournament proper. Campos won the free kick. In some ways, that's a stark reminder of the work still to be done in Concacaf. In theory, the top 16 teams, based on their senior national team rankings, were placed into this group stage. The remainder all featured in a preliminary stage back in November in Santo Domingo. Torres pursuing. But in theory, teams 13 through 16 were unable to take a single point off teams 1 through 12. Toward Destin, taken by Ambriz. Rolled over San Milan, and now Jadi. Jadi lost his footing. He may have done more than that. He took up some turf with that. Look at the divot he's left. Centrally for Hernandez. St. Augustine picks it up. 18-year-old goalkeeper, the elder of the two, carried by Haiti, featuring a Tempete in Haiti. point, this is the only group that still has anything left to be decided. The final game of the group stage. It is possible with a Mexican victory or draw, nothing changes at all. Take a heavy Haitian loss or a Haitian win to significantly alter the bracket that's being assembled. Larish. We do know a handful of matchups now. The 3 positions from Group F obviously remaining unsettled. The U.S. will face Nicaragua. Costa Rica would face 3F. That's currently Trinidad and Tobago. 1/4 of the bracket. Cuba, Panama, Honduras, and Curacao in another quarter. Ball bounces all the way down here to Lohio. El Salvador and the Dominican Republic will match up. El Salvador winning their group. Jamaica currently would face this Haitian side in the round of 16. Guatemala and Canada are in the quarter of the bracket with the group champion from here. Currently slated to be Mexico. Will face Puerto Rico on June the 26th here in San Pedro Sula. Torres. Thrown back by Gomez. Alcantar. Ultimately, your goal is to be a finalist more than anything. That'll get you a spot in the Paris Olympics in 2024. And by being a semi-finalist, it'll get you into the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. It'll roll all the way up. Hernandez chasing all the way to Augustin. San Milan. Catch up to that, and down goes Duckins Pierre with a cardable offense.
Su atención, por favor, damas y caballeros, a María, el jugador de
Pierre's first of the tournament. Yellow cards do reset at the conclusion of the group stage. So Rish rather picked up the card. Rish got ahead to that. San Milan. Jadi. As far as Larish. And back to Cicerone. That yellow card was actually in some ways important. It just broke the 7th tiebreaker. Both Trinidad and Tobago and Haiti entered tonight with 2 yellow cards apiece for their teams. Haiti now has 3. A 5-0 Mexican win at the current reading of the tiebreaker rules. See, Haiti dropped to 3rd. Gomez circles back. Freyfeld. Header ominously aside. Larish taken by Torres. Cutting back and dummied through. Bounces off of Larish. Free kick conceded by Fidel Ambriz. Cicerone. Header stayed in, well done. Lopez. Pierre. San Milan. Swallowed up by Mexico, tracking back. Floated over the top, header across. It's out of the reach of Destin, off the head of Judee. Well, there was a little push from Judee in the lead up to that. A little bit of separation. This is the 5th all-time meeting in the Concacaf Under-20s. Mexico has not lost. They've only conceded once. It's a series that dates back to 1962 in Panama. But the last 3 matches have been tight. 78, 84, and most recently in 2015, a 1-1 draw. Header lob back. Good intervention by Pierre. Lost by Lazard. Behind. Pierre interjects himself. Off the head of Cicerone. Good effort from Larish. Part of the Violette team that had a inspired run in the Flow Concacaf Caribbean Club Championship. Slide in from Pierre, corner Mexico. Corner whipped in. Taken out of the air and bouncing in, simple enough for Augustin. Lurish. Contact in from Destin. A lot of contact. Sent it fluttering by Jadi. Freyfeld, part of the Pumas side, made the Champions League final. He's been featuring in the academy for the group, the under-19s. Yet to feature in League MX. Back from Hernandez, dangerously. Midway point of the first half. Scoreless draw leaves this at status quo. Mexico wins the group, Haiti finishes second. Toward Destin, picked off by Saul Zamora. Sent it forward. It's been a pretty loosely officiated game to this point. Way by Gomez. He's featured for Necaxa in Ligue MX. Over Jadi. Campos arrived, kept it away from Larish, who's pushed way up the field. Contact from Sam Milan pushes down Diego Gomez. Torres. Flag is down. Turning, Gomez leaving it off. Save with a rebound, still tapped around and cleared away from Pierre. It's a late arriving but adequate offside flag. This is the first under-20 championship that features VAR. And this is the concern with allowing play to continue if you are in fact convinced it offside. Ball bounces down, that's a problem of the goalkeeper's own making. And Violante comes in and appeared to catch the keeper here. Well, it appears Augustin's okay. Look, you see both sides of it, right? If you are wrong and you blow play dead, you can't possibly recreate that moment. It makes all the sense in the world to let it play through. Once that ball gets bobbled, it becomes a free-for-all, and the last thing you want to see is a player get injured in a play that ultimately was always going to be offside. Good ball, laced down the line. Hernandez running down the middle of the field. He's not the only one. Hammered across out of play. That will be a corner here. Violante having a go at it. Campos. Turns out that was excellent from Augustin. 30th minute now. A little overzealous from Haiti. Samilon's had his hand in everything so far. His first call up to the national team. Spoke to the local papers about the pride of representing his country. A lot of excitement in the young 17-year-old who hails from Montreal. Duche's passed and out. Lifted upfield for Torres. Larish. It's been a typically stingy defensive performance from the Mexicans. Haven't really given anything. Freyfeld. Zamora. Return to Campos. Turned over in midfield, Destin. 70% possession from Mexico to this point. 3 shots on target to Haiti's 0. This has been a composed, collected Mexican performance. And Breeze got it central, found the opposite side, came to Pierre. And look, if you're Mexico, a draw is enough. You win the group, but it is a razor's edge. This is a Haitian side that prides itself thus far in this tournament on their ability to counter off moments precisely like this. Return to Destin. Hernandez, excellent job to catch up and catch Belazaire. You just don't want to allow this to be a slow game to the point that you take yourself out of the opportunity to confirm your place as the group champion. Because once Haiti gets a goal, they can be feisty defensively. Big diagonal switch. Hernandez leading through, Torres! Flag is up, offside. That's a clinical finish and exactly what Mexico had been working toward for 34 minutes. And there's Torres, frees the frame. On the Wrong side of Cicerone. Header soars away, brought down by Breeze. Jody. Driven ball skied away by Alcantar. Corner, Haiti. Service across. Header bangs off of Cicerone. Freifeld. Ulohio. The 18-year-old goalkeeper from Mexicali. Freifeld. This is his most extensive time of the tournament. San Milan. Pierre. This will unlock things a little bit. Duckins, Pierre. Turned over to San Milan. Angling, getting a shot away. Elohio had that covered all the way. Fidel Ambrise captaining the side here at the Under-20s as he did at the Revelations Cup. Freyfeld. Tried that ball a couple times. Pierre. It's a throw for Haiti. Campos. Good willingness from Wadensky Pierre to get in. Toward Jadis and sent the other way. Luckins Pierre a header away from Violante. San Milan. Play continues. And well won by Diego Gomez. Struck from long range, that's simple, off the foot of Adelson Belazaire. Lazard kept in. Campos. Zamora. Foul by Wadensky Pierre. And Pierre shown yellow.
Damas y caballeros, tarjeta amarilla para el jugador número 6, Oliver Gudensky, en el minuto 43.
Look at Zamora for a moment. 19-year-old from Leon. Has played a role in Champions League. Part of the Mexican national team dating to his under-16 days. Could you possibly, realistically, go for goal from here? Here's the chip forward, Hernandez. Well worked with Zamora. Well, San Milan, he kicks through. You could very easily see them have an extended look at this. We're into stoppage time now. This will be the first game for Mexico where Brian Gonzalez doesn't score in first half stoppage. Play will continue. 2 added minutes.
Damas y caballeros, el cuarto oficial ha indicado que se van a agregar por lo menos 2 minutos al primer tiempo de este juego.
Well, Haiti is still in the fight. In the last half of the 3-game group stage to try and win the group. An accomplishment in and of itself. Appeared to be a regrettable error. Throw for Haiti. And see how much they've poured into the game. Angling away and firing away. Jody sliding through. Sends it off frame in the dying seconds of the opening half. Glance of the watch. And that's halftime in San Pedro Sula. As of right now, the group remains unchanged from where we began. Mexico in first, Haiti in second, Trinidad and Tobago in third. Scoreless at the intermission in a first half that ultimately didn't look like Mexico was out for the kind of blood that Trinidad and Tobago was hoping they'd be out for. Trinidad and Tobago were hoping that they'd one-up their performance from 2 days ago, and instead Haiti is held strong. Halftime in San Pedro Sula in the finale of the group stage in the Concacaf Under-20 Championship, both tournament-wide and, of course, in Group F. Haiti 0, Mexico 0.
2022.
official Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things Concacaf. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your Concacaf experience to the next level. Download now the official Concacaf app. Available on the App Store and Google Play. The official Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things Concacaf. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your Concacaf experience to the next level. Download now the official Concacaf app. Available on the App Store and Google Play. official Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things Concacaf. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your Concacaf experience to the next level. Download now the official Concacaf app, available on the App Store and Google Play.
Welcome back to San Pedro Sula. Palma will enter at halftime for Mexican side on level terms at the intermission. He's not the only one. Brian Gonzalez will enter as well. 2 subs at the break for Mexico. Mexico and Haiti 2 points apart at the top of Group F. And now we go to the second half, scoreless through 45. Gonzalez, 2 goals in the tournament. Palma, the young Pachuca midfielder, enters in as well. And we'll see if that turns the tide a bit here in Mexico's favor. A draw sees them group champion. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you're Haiti, if you ultimately draw, you started in second, you can stay there. Alcantars come off at the break. Jadi. Captain by Eulogio.
Su atención, por favor, sustituciones en la selección de México. Sale con el número 4, Jesús Alcántara. e ingresa con el número 16 Rafael Palma. Sustitución en la selección de México. Sale con el número 5 Isaías Violante e ingresa con el 11 Brian González.
Well. So Violante and
En el minuto
Alcantar off.
46.
Gonzalez and Palma on. Gonzalez back and Breeze. That's Pierre down. Zamora smashing into those ankles. If this holds, the round of 16 fixtures for the teams in this group: Mexico face Puerto Rico on Sunday here, the Olympic Stadium. Haiti would face Jamaica. Ball taken out of the air by Jadi and away. Trinidad and Tobago would take on Costa Rica on Saturday here in San Pedro Sula. Bypassing Jadi, easy for Ulogio. Hernandez. And Breeze, Campos. Palma. Chips up, header back. And off target from Gonzalez. Knockout stage begins in 2 days. This will be the first rest day, not only for the teams, but also for many of the Concacaf officials. Destin, caught by Ulogio. The referees, many of whom have worked on and off through VAR, the fourth official and the central referee, and the ARs on either end. And the TV production folks who've done a wonderful job documenting these under-20s. Players have gotten one rest day. This will be a full day off for a number of them. Some will get 2, depending on what portion of the bracket they're in. Action will pick up on the 25th, round of 16. Single match elimination format, which was added to this tournament a couple of cycles back. Some capacity. Quarter, semis, final. Semi-finalists are going to the Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia in 2023. The 2 finalists earn CONCACAF's 2 berths into the 2024 Summer Olympic Games in Paris. Mexico hoping to continue to build the legacy Mexico at the Olympics. Palma. Away by Pierre. There's going to be at least a talking to. Jadi pounding the ground. There's a yellow card. Goes to Lopez. That is the first yellow card issued to a Mexican player in the tournament.
Damas y caballeros, tarjeta amarilla. En el minuto 51 para el jugador de México, Gerardo López, número 15.
For Mexico, when it was a senior national team tournament, they did reach the bronze medal game in 1968. But since the Olympics became a under-23 event, gold in London in 2012, the bronze in Tokyo in 2020. And Jody looked at again. Took spikes into the ankle. Nothing malicious, just a unfortunate landing. In behind came off Cicerone. Undoubtedly, Mexico's been the better side tonight. Haiti's created a few chances, 2 or 3. This has been Mexico's game. They've been calm, considerate, consistent. They've rarely turned the ball over in dangerous situations. They've largely shifted Haiti's transitional game into neutral. Torres, touched away by Larish. Flicked on, rolled back, Palma. Augustin. Jody. Aaron. away from Wodensky. But a Haitian throw for Haiti, relegated out of League A at the senior level in Nations League. Nations League B, Group B, they've had a good run of form. 3 wins and a draw away to Bermuda. Flag had gone up. If you're Haiti, you feel quite confident going into March that you'll be back in Nations League A for a second time in 3 cycles. Gonzalez went down. Augustin picks it up. Palma. This is a well-rotated Mexican team. Assuming they get the result either as it stands or a victory here. This has been the perfect group stage for them. Handled their business in the first few games. Successfully rotated the team in an extraordinary stretch of up to 7 games in less than 20 days. Full sprint ahead. Pierre couldn't track it down, but he does win a throw. Ultimately, this Mexican under-20 team is going to be judged on 2 sole objectives: qualifying for the World Cup and qualifying for the Olympics.
Damas y caballeros, sustitución en la selección.
Really didn't have much to gain in this group, prestige-wise. Torres has come off. Jonathan Perez comes on. Third sub for Mexico. Comes just shy of the hour mark. Turned over, Wodensky. San Milan, who's been quiet in this second half, trying to turn Gomez. Taken back by Jadi. The return to Jadi. Referee immediately wags his hand back and forth. No. Good return for Destin. And you can see Lazard gesturing for VAR. The referee assures him if it's necessary, it will be used. Nothing in that for me. Absolutely the correct call. Wodinsky. Lazard certainly dulled in that first half. It's a poor outlet and a wonderful recovery. Larish charging ahead. Jadi. Lazard. Lazard curling off the crossbar. An epic effort, narrowly misses what would have been certainly the goal of the group stage. And the slim margin for Haiti, maybe that's a wake-up call to Mexico. Perhaps they've played with their food a bit too much at this stage. Haiti has always played Mexico close in this age group. All whipped across, headers up and away. Lazard. Play continues, bodies flying everywhere. Campos curling over the top and caught. Augustin. Dumped all the way down. What a clean strike. Eulogio could only watch. And Watts Lazard remains down. Goal scorer against Trinidad and Tobago. Good run. Appreciate Campos making the effort. He stayed up. Simply the best he could provide. Searching, Destin, Lazard, Jadi, turning, it skitters off the post with a touch from Eulogio. And Mexico is playing with fire at present. Ultimately, they are always going to be expected to get out of whatever quarter they end up in. But you'd rather have an easier go through the round of 16 in the quarterfinals. Puerto Rico is an opponent Mexico would feel extremely confident playing, as they should. Launched down the far touchline. But when you let Haiti hang in this long, you're opening the door to a surprise. Service across, that header away. It's Apollon. There must be beaming pride right now from the Haitian people watching. Another chance created. Again, Apollon. Service this time a little more secure, but Jadi away. Appeal for a handball. I can't help but think of the Concacaf Champions League game in 2021. And surely Cruz Azul atoned in a major way against Arcai of Haiti. The local papers called it a sin of pride that they drew 0-0 away to Haiti, taking on Arcai. This is a Haitian side that had to build this under-20 team essentially on the fly. There were teams that spent 6 months working at this. For Mexico, make no mistake, you could put together arguably a better under-20 team of the players that are not here. But Haiti still remains in contention to win the group here with 20 minutes to go. Zamora, Gonzalez. Two changes coming here for Haiti. That's Omri Etienne, replacing Brian Destin, the Inter Miami player. And Joel Favard will come on as well. And that's for Adelson Belazaire. Belazaire escapes without accumulating a second yellow in the group stage. He will be available for the round of 16, at which point yellow cards will reset.
Su atención, por favor,
20 minutes to go as it stands now. Mexico would win the group, face Puerto Rico Sunday. Haiti would finish second, take on Jamaica on Sunday. Trinidad and Tobago finish third. They'll face Costa Rica on Saturday. Trinidad and Tobago's fate becoming more and more likely sealed. Appears unlikely Mexico is going to pour on 5 from here. Touched aside, Palma away from him. Mexico still has 2 changes available to them. It appears they're approaching another addition. Mariscal making his way toward the 4th official in the halfway line. Pierre. Jadi attempts. Zamora. Wonderful effort, Duckins Pierre. He wants to begin again. But, here comes the change. That's it for Fidel and Breeze. You'll see the captain's armband to Mariscal. One more sub available to Mexico the rest of the way. San Milan. Full sprint, Larish. Cicerone. Good recovery by Gomez. Zamora. Foul from Lazard. Bounces off Cicerone. He gets bodied off. Late whistle, and it rolled wide of the post regardless. Jesus Hernandez creating space in an illicit manner. Zamora landed all wrong. Flat on his back. That be a corner. It's going to be. It's a mistake for Mexico. See if Haiti has any chance. Make them actually pay for it. Lohio and Etienne side by side, both receiving some word of wisdom from Walter Lopez. There's the 5th and final sub for Mexico. Esteban Lozano's come in.
Karen Campos e ingresa con el número
Cross.
19.
Campos has come
Esteban
off here.
Lozano.
Turned over, Pierre. Won't split the center backs. Pierre again. Back by Mariscal. Slide in, San Milan. Latest yellow, that goes to Gomez. Again, no Mexican player was on accumulation warning. A cardless first few games. They've picked up a couple in this final performance of the group stage. Pierre Lariche, Gomez, and Lopez on yellow cards now with just over 10 minutes to play. Perez. Free kick, Jadi. Young player of the tournament in the Flow Concacaf Caribbean Club Championship. Lopez was on a yellow card. He was saying, if I had him spun, shouldn't that come with a card? Plenty of cover behind him. Wasn't all that difficult a decision for the referee. Etienne, end line, crashes into the board. Referee gestures. This is with Mexico. Most everyone had come to the conclusion it was going the other way. Mexico picking up a little tempo here. Floated ball. Opening the door to Perez. Palma again. Upright long enough to knock that in. Lozano was offside. Came back to receive the ball. Augustin a bit worse for the wear here. It was Medina who started the opener. Congueros Medina of Violette. Look, if you're Haiti, no matter how this ends, have to be pleased with how this ultimately plays out in the group stage. It appears you're destined for a top 2 spot. This is a wonderful touch into space, and Lozano couldn't blast it through. For a group that's qualified for its 6th consecutive Under-20 championship, this is a marked improvement. Grabbed by Augustin. Another tug at Wadensky. Wadensky pushing everybody in the attacking half forward here. Lozano. Back heel, that's excellent. Ahead, Etienne. Swung that in front. Lopez was there. Flicked through again. And now taken out of the air and whistling wide. The third Haitian try. From Joel Favard. Mariscal again. He had the hat trick in the opener against Suriname. Goals in the 23rd and 25th minute blew that game wide open. Perez. Put in Lizard. Didn't come off for Zamora. Shouts becoming a little more hectic, a little more hurried. Etienne. Lizard. Overlap. Pierre. Etienne went right to him. Sought San Milan. Outside Perez. Mariscal couldn't get it away. Perez. That was inadvertently dangerous from Duckins Pierre. Perez, top of the area. There for Saul Zamora. And for Haiti, do you look for a little bit of magic? You have absolutely nothing to lose. Mexico's not scoring 5 goals in the next 4 minutes. Favard. Etienne, who's been in good places but hasn't quite been able to convert. Push in, Pierre. Battling through, finally a whistle, and it goes against Mexico. And a card out to Jonathan Perez.
Su atención, por favor. El cuarto oficial indica que se van a agregar por lo menos 3 minutos a este segundo tiempo.
Into the first of 3 minutes of stoppage time. Apollon. Didn't really ask a question at all of Eulogio. He had that red all the way.
Señoras y señores, tarjeta amarilla para la selección de México, el número 18, Jonathan Pérez.
Stabbed away. Etienne. Haiti with a goal can win the group. All the way through, looking. Play back, and defensively knocked over the end line. He had Jadi. He also had Etienne making a run. And Larish wins a corner with 1:15 to play. Exilus comes in. and Jeudi coming off. Jeudi being walked over the line. He'll leave the group stage as the co-leading scorer alongside Nathaniel James of Trinidad and Tobago. Could this be the moment? Another corner. There has been one scoreless draw in the entirety of the tournament to this point, and it was the other final group stage game in Group G, Panama and El Salvador. Wodinski for the back post. And it appears we are destined for another scoreless draw here. And that is full time. The group stage is complete. Haiti with an emotional point against Mexico. Mexico wins the group. Haiti finishes in second place in Group F. Both advance to the round of 16. And that will complete the bracket for the round of 16. Trinidad and Tobago will face Costa Rica on the 25th. Jamaica will take on Haiti, the second place finisher. Puerto Rico will take on group champion Mexico. For our entire team at home and abroad, Mike Watts saying so long from San Pedro Sula. We can't wait to share the knockout stage with you in 2 days' time. It finishes Mexico 0, Haiti 0. Have a good night, everybody.
Bienvenido Jesús Hernández de la selección de México. Jesús, se consigue un empate entre un rival muy complicado. ¿Qué hizo falta para la victoria?
Sí, pues la verdad que estuvo muy complicado el partido, sabíamos cómo jugaban, que no nos iban a regalar nada y pues estuvo complicado y yo creo que podemos mejorar en equipo. O sea, esto es un empate, pero podemos seguir mejorando en equipo.
Se vienen partidos trascendentales para la siguiente fase. ¿Qué se debe trabajar mejor?
Yo creo que ser contundentes porque hemos tenido oportunidades, pero se va a trabajar y pues seguir con nuestro modelo de juego.